Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of our banding tools. So out here we have our banding pliers and our bands themselves. So these pliers here are pretty special. They're not your ordinary pliers from Home Depot. Each one of these runs something like 150 bucks a piece because they're custom made. And you'll see what's going on with these pliers is that they have a couple of holes in them of slightly different sizes. And these two pliers actually, and this set of pliers here, has larger diameter openings than this set here. And so between these two pliers, we can put on several different sizes of bands. And the reason these pliers are important is because these holes here allow us to clamp the band over the leg of the bird without accidentally clamping the band against the bird's leg. So this space here makes sure that the band goes on safely and it goes on correctly and makes a nice even seam. And then on the side of these pliers also there's this knob here, and when you open the pliers up you'll see that knob is that opens up on the halfway point. And so what we do is we take a band that we want to open up and attach to a bird, and we slide it over that knob like this, and then when we expand the pliers that band will open up along the seam. And then we take that band, we put it into the hole here, and we clamp it down over the bird's tarsus and give it a squeeze, and then it's good to go. So those are the pliers. Now these are the bands themselves, and I've brought out a couple different sizes of them. And these bands range in size from something small enough to put on a tiny little kinglet that weighs about the same as a couple of nickels, all the way up to something like a golden eagle, which would almost be like the diameter of a large wedding ring or something like that. But each one of these bands here has a unique identifier number on it. Now, as I rotate this, you can hopefully see that number. And this number here, in this case, it's 134259268. So this is like the social security number of the bird that this goes on. And there's no other band that's ever going to be manufactured that's going to have this same number. And these bands are created and administered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the U.S. Geological Survey. And the smaller text that's on these bands are actually phone numbers to contact in the event of you recovering a bird that has a band on it in your travels. So when we put a band on the bird, anytime that bird is ever seen again, either if it's found dead somewhere or if it's resighted alive and somebody can read the band with their binoculars or spotting scope, or if it's caught by another bird bander, you can put the band number into the system and figure out where that bird was banded and when, and any information that was recorded on that bird, such as the weights, the wing length, the sex, the age, all these metrics that we recorded at our station, we can get that information off of whoever the person was to band the bird. In many cases, we recapture birds that are already banded. Most of them are birds that we've actually banded, either earlier in the season or in previous seasons as well. It's very, very common that many of the birds that we catch are ones that we've banded the year before or the year before that. But we do occasionally catch recaptured birds as well that came from other banding stations. And it happens that other banding stations will recapture birds that we banded. So here in our songbird banding station, we have 5 or 6 different diameters of band, and each species has a range of band sizes that it's appropriate to use on it. So we'll measure the bird's leg, we'll choose a band, we'll choose the pliers, and on it goes.